This is the future.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another Warframe video. In today's video, I just want to talk about daggers in Warframe and why you shouldn't sleep on these melee weapons right now. I know most of you don't have any daggers in your list right now of top melee weapons when it comes to insane kill speed. And to be honest with you, I always talk about the Incarnate Ceramic Dagger nowadays when we talk about this specific melee type in Warframe. However, I don't talk about Incarnate Ceramic Dagger as a great killing tool, but it is used as a utility to boost the build potential of some Warframes in the game. A good example of this is when building for red crit on our pacifist monk Warframe. The Incarnate Ceramic Dagger is the key to getting a 12 times combo counter without expiration that gives us the ability to maintain our red crit values with this Warframe. First of all, we got the gun and blade perk on its second evolution 2 that grants 100 combo count, and this will stay through the rest of the mission unless you die or leave. Then we got the third evolution that also has a bonus initial combo. Not to mention that the dagger has a max driven disposition. We can roll yet another good initial combo stat, or even roll a critical chance stat to achieve more than tier 1 of red crit for our passive monk. Sadly, I don't have the critical chance Riven right now, but I managed to pull off a good initial combo. Riven, which pairs with another initial combo mode and gives me 12 times combo multiplier, which I can use to boost the melee damage of my Baruch, and as well as do red crit numbers with the help of the Gladiator mod, set plus the Sacrificial Steel mod. The best part about this is it doesn't need the melee guidance trick to maintain the red crit numbers. Also, doing a heavy attack will just regenerate your combo after 5 seconds. Like I have said, the initial combo you get is permanent as long as you won't die, and all you need to do is deactivate and then recast Baruch's 4th ability while making sure that your combo count is at max, so you can start dealing red crit numbers again. So far, the Incarnate Ceramic Dagger stat stick is one of the best in the slot for a passive monk red crit build, and I'm hoping that someday I can roll a good critical chance stat on my Riven mod, plus the initial combo stat to make it good. Before, I got 34 initial combo with electric on this Riven mod, but after re-rolling the Riven the other day, I ended with this critical damage and initial combo Riven, which is not bad, but could probably be. While the Incarnate Ceramic Dagger is a must-have for utility purposes, this doesn't mean that all daggers in the game are important just because they can be a good stat stick. There are other daggers also that are fun to use with insane kill speed, and in fact, you can turn them into a damage over time Exodia Contagion. The one I'm talking about is the original Incarnate Ceremonial Dagger called Inodem. Once you unlock the Incarnate form of this dagger, its range and attack speed will be increased, and you can now throw projectiles while aim gliding. If I were to describe the projectiles, then it's like a hydrate of Excalibur's Exalted Blade in Exodia Contagion's projectile. It doesn't have that same nuking power as Exodia Contagion's projectile, but it does insane DPS when used with a specific setup. The best part about this is after the Whispers in the Walls update, the Incarnate weapon becomes a great room cleaner with the new melee influence Arcane. In case this is your first time hearing about the Arcane, this grants melee electricity status a 20% chance to grant a time buff that causes melee elemental status effects to spread to enemies within range. Eligible status effects that can be spread by melee influence include both primary and secondary element types, and its damage is affected by condition overload and the critical multiplier. Just take note that the Arcane only spreads elements and not physical damage types such as slash damage. Basically, you would want your Inodem to have electric status first and a secondary element of your choice depending on the faction you're facing. There are instances also that Warframe abilities that also add more power to the synergy. A good example is that you can mod your Inodem with electricity and gas, then you can use the Helminth Nourish ability to give the weapon viral damage. Not to mention that you can also add Toxin, which doesn't combine with other elements if you are using Saren. A condition overload setup would be busted with this synergy, given that you have gas, electricity, viral, and Toxin elements in your build. And the best part is that you can spread this status while gliding in the air with the melee influence setup. As for its evolution, I picked the attack speed bonus on its second, the Skyborn perk on its third for that extra range, on the aerial attack, the melee damage bonus on aerial attacks on its 4th evolution, and finally, the heavy attack efficiency on its final evolution. I picked the Blood Anointed perk as its final evolution as I would want to conserve some of the combo after doing a heavy attack to activate its Incarnate form. Armed Inspiration is good to maintain the combo counter, but it's not suitable for this combo as most of the time we are in the air killing enemies with the Inodem and not using any guns at all. Now, the status spread is not the only thing that makes this synergy broken, but you can also add the Amalgam Argonaut Metal Auger in the build for armor stripping. This is a mod you can get from the Rapali's boss fight, and what it does is grants all damage effects from daggers, including status damage to reduce the armor of enemies. The most broken part is that the armor reduction can be spread through melee influence mod, giving more DPS to the setup, and in fact this synergy can shred Steel Path Acolytes without breaking any sweat. Now, I would also want two amazing synergy that you can use while playing this combo. The first one is obviously Wisp Prime. The Warframe can make this combo better since you can remove attack speed mods in your build and add more damage through critical multiplier. With her haste mode, you can have insane attack speed while throwing the projectile of the Incarnate Ceremonial Dagger. Just some quick tips: always have a negative gravity while aim gliding mod in your build so you can stay in the air for longer periods while throwing the Inodem projectiles. The mods you are seeing here are just the basics things you need for this synergy, and these alone are enough to create a good Wisp and Inodem synergy. I don't plan on doing another reform, as I always have this set up with adaptation, prime sure-footed, and the fused reservoir mod for my general Wisp gameplay. Also, for the Inodem build, you might want to add the Relentless Combination mod to maintain your combo counter while in the air using Inodem projectile. The mod will increase your melee combo count as you hit melee enemies with slash, and this seems to work with the projectile of the Inodem. This synergy is also fun and deadly to use with the melee god Warframe named Clivo. Obviously, we will be using Culervo for its ability to give the synergy insane tiers of red crit numbers. To be honest, I think this melee influence, or knocking in on combo perk, always suits Culervo's. The Warframe got all the tools to increase the damage of the setup without sacrificing anything. With Culervo, you don't have to use the Relentless Combination mod, as you can use his fourth ability to maintain the 12 times combo multiplier of the Inodem. Remember that each hit from his fourth ability will contribute to your combo count, and this helps you maintain your combo so you can activate the Incarnate form whenever you want, or get the boosted damage from mods such as Blood Rush, your boosted status chance from Weeping Wound so you can proxy electric and other elements in your dagger more often. And of course, Culervo has the Wrathful Advance ability that grants insane red crit numbers to your melee, even if you are not using any critical chance mods in your build. In fact, I can just remove Blood Rush and Sacrificial Steel in my build, but I prefer not to, since I don't have anything to add in this melee while using it with Culervo. If there's one thing I'm missing in the build, then that is the Purple Archon Shard that grants critical damage increase. This will definitely make the synergy overpowered, and I can't wait to finally have that 5-tile forged version of the shard on my Warframe. In addition, you can add the Eclipse ability of Mirage to Culervo with the help of the Helmet system. This will boost the red crit damage of each projectiles of the Inodem that could lead to millions of damage sometimes. The only problem with Eclipse is that it's unreliable sometimes, especially in missions with dark corridors such as Grenier or the Conjunction Survival Tile set. You would want to use Eclipse on bright places to get the weapon damage buff always on the synergy. Most of the time, I run this kind of setup in Void missions, which happens to have more brighter areas than most of the other tile set in Warframe. Lastly, let's talk about why I did not add a tennokai mod in this build. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with adding a tennokai mod in this build, as it will also give you an advantage. Using a tennokai mode grants you a free heavy attack, which you can use during the activation of your Incarnate Melee, and this won't consume any of your combo count. This could be good to the Wisp synergy, but I really don't need it with my Culervo, as I got an ability to maintain my combo count easily. It's just a personal preference, not using the tennokai mod in this slot, and it saves me some form also. Now, I know most players are enjoying the new tennokai and mechanics right now with their meta weapons. The ability to do fast attack and perform a death blow without diminishing your combo count is sweet, but I just would like to remind you that there are other melee weapons in the game right now that benefits from the new melee arcanes, and they are stupidly overpowered with the right build and setup. This is just me, but I find guns more fun to use still after the addition of melee arcanes and the tennokai system. However, this doesn't mean that melee is not good, and in fact, they are very powerful right now. I'm just enjoying killing enemies with guns at the moment because I was a huge melee fanatic for years. Right now, I highly suggest that you take a look at some of your melee weapons or try this combo that I have shared, and you might be surprised how insane these weapons are in Warframe this 2024. So that's all about it. And before you leave, I would just like to apologize on my past videos being blurry, as I did a factory reset on my PC. I ended up messing some of my graphics settings, so that is why my recent videos don't look crisp as usual. Please assured that it's all good now, and for those asking about my graphics setting in Warframe, don't worry, as I will finally post it this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Squad Leader signing off.
This is the future.